beauties, so get ready with me as I get ready to head out the door. But let's talk Ulta Beauty World. So it's been about more than 24 hours since Ulta Beauty World tickets went on sale, and let's just talk a little bit about it. So I was probably one of the 3 million people trying to get tickets, but I was a little bit close to getting through the queue, and I mean a little bit close, but I am a little bit sad that I'm not going to be able to go. I had been planning since the announcement of Orlando last year and been trying to save up for this to go this year. I didn't try to secure anything prior to the sale because I wanted to make sure I had my ticket first before I did anything else. I did want to go this year because I wanted to go last year when they did San Antonio. I just couldn't do it because the dates conflicted with something else I had to do since I had another trip, so I wasn't going to be able to do it last year. But I was curious in how how Ulta was going to do Ulta Beauty World compared to like other conventions like the Sephora one or IMATS and stuff like that. But I was very curious. Unfortunately, couldn't do it last year. Again, dates conflicted. Wanted to do it this year. So I saved up and I logged on like everybody else at 10 o'clock trying to get that golden ticket, right? Yeah, it didn't happen for me this year. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. I was a little sad yesterday because I really wanted to do it again. It was something I wanted to do, but because I am trying to focus on a new goal of mine, which is why I wanted to do it. I personally wanted to get the bundle, which was the masterclass and the expo. Yes, I am a content creator. I am specifically a beauty content creator. Makeup is my expression. Makeup is my art. Is how I create my own art. But I have been slowly taking the step into doing other people's makeup, hopefully expanding into the makeup artist world. But just trying to get a little bit more comfortable getting my feet inside and trying to create more art, not just on myself, but on anybody else. So my goal was to go to the masterclass, learn a little bit of new tricks, learn more about the products and different details, but mostly like I wanted to learn new tricks because again, I'm trying to get more comfortable in doing other people's makeup. So that was the plan. Go try to get a masterclass and go to the expo. Obviously, everyone wants to go to the expo because of what they saw on social media last year. But I wanted to go again just to learn more because I'm trying to expand into this new field. And again, I am a content creator, but I am also trying to expand into other areas of makeup and beauty. Yes, I do makeup videos and I do skincare and stuff like that. Again, I like to create my own art this way, but I want to expand my knowledge a little bit more. So that was the goal. That was the plan to do the expo and the master classes. Unfortunately, it's not in the cards this year. I didn't get the golden ticket, so it is what it is. I am a little sad, but I'm not going to crash out about it because it kind of pushed me to work a little bit harder now. I am hopeful that maybe next year it will be in the cards for me, but in the meantime, just keep it moving because there's nothing else I could do about it. So again, I was trying to save up for this, not just for the expo ticket, but then when the master classes came up, I was hoping to do that as well. But I was trying to budget in a cost for like shipping and stuff like that because based off the feedback you saw from last year, you know you're gonna walk out with a couple different goodies. So I was also considering shipping costs and stuff like that. But again, it is what it is. Let's not go crazy because everyone has their own thoughts and opinion about it. We're all allowed to. But I'm just gonna keep going, doing what I was trying to do, work harder, and, you know, hope for the best that maybe next year that little golden ticket is in my future. Yes, I'm still bummed out. There's nothing I can do, but let's just hope that, again, it's in the future. I had been planning to do this as a learning experience, have a little bit of fun, and, you know, since I am also a content creator, hopefully, I was hoping to also do some content from over there as well. But I guess the content is now like getting more ideas out of this little sadness and disappointment. But let's just hope that maybe next year or in the future it would happen. I guess the sadness comes in a way from how I've been trying to go to a little bit of these expos in the past. I haven't been able to go to the Sephora one or IMATS or any of the others in the past because it just hasn't been in the cards for me. And the expenses also tend to rack up as other things also happen in life. And I guess you can say I was a little bit more hyped about Ulta Beauty World because I was counting on the excitement of it based off like what I read and saw from it last year's expo. But again, I still wanted to go because as much as I wanted to do it last year, it just wasn't in the cards for me. So I was hoping to do it this year. And since having missed out on the Sephora one and IMATS in the past, I was just hoping to do it this year, considering the new goals I have in mind, you know? So I was really hoping to do that. But I guess I have to keep learning from practice, as don't mind me with my eyes closed as I'm trying to do my makeup. But there's nothing I can do, you know. I was online reading the feedback yesterday because I was a little sad. I did post something about it also last night. Well, not last night, yesterday, right after, because I was in my feelings. Let's be honest, I was in my feelings. So for me, I was like, which is more painful, missing out on WrestleMania tickets or missing out on Ulta Beauty World? Because they both hurt and they both suck. And what I mean by which one hurts more, hold on, where's my palette? And what I mean which one hurts more is because, WrestleMania is out of reach because lately these prices are ridiculous. And trying to get WrestleMania tickets is like putting a down payment for a car or putting a down payment for a house, depending on which section you want to sit at. And with the Ulta Beauty World, prices aren't bad, let's be honest. For what you're going to experience is not bad. But the demand was there this year. Let's be honest, the demand was there. So again, it's like trying to find the golden ticket inside the Wonka bar. That's the best way to read it. And I saw that someone posted it on Threads yesterday. It's like trying to find the golden ticket in the Wonka bar. So that's definitely the right way to say it. The other way to look at it is because, the demand for this was there. For this year's Ulta Beauty World, it's like looking at when you were trying to get a limited edition makeup collection and the whole world wanted it and everyone's trying to get online and buy it and land in the queue back in a Kylie Cosmetics days kind of way. But again, apparently it was 3 million people, 3,000 tickets. Let's do the math. We were all trying to be there. But, I guess what it did for me was like create a drive, and I turned that sadness yesterday into drive and started to work on other stuff in between. And I think I kind of messed up this eye a little bit. Let me clean that up. So also when I'm comparing it to WrestleMania tickets, WrestleMania is also literally that same week. So it was either see if WrestleMania is reachable or Ulta Beauty World. But Ulta Beauty World was calling my name because, again, it felt more goal-oriented for me than, well, WrestleMania. I love WrestleMania. I can't say no to that. But it's just out of the cards because it's ridiculous unless I win the lottery. But Ulta Beauty World was, again, it's what I love. It's my passion and what I'm trying to expand more of in career-wise. So I wanted to go. But I guess I'll be watching the videos, feedback, all that on social media because we all know it's going to end up there anyway. So it is what it is. And let me do my eyes before I put myself out with this. It's Ulta Beauty World is not in the plans anymore. But I had saved up. What did I do with it? Well, I decided to get ahead and just get ahead of certain things I needed to pay. So just did that and got myself some snacks because apparently we have a horrible snowstorm on the way. I will say that I did read some of the feedback also on like specifically Threads last night concerning Ulta Beauty World, because a lot of people were vocal about their feelings. I will say, I did read some of the stuff about people talking about the collective, and I'm just gonna say it's not how do I say this? They have to be there because it's their job. The same way Sephora has their Sephora squad there, like the representatives of the brand. And again, this is the same type of position that a lot of us were trying to apply for months ago in the summer, to have this opportunity also, and to be able to work with a brand like Ulta and all the different brands that are there. So that's the opportunity they got also from applying for this position that we were all trying to apply for back in the summer. Again, Sephora invites their Sephora squad for their convention and all their other events. So why would it be a little bit different? Again, it's not a huge number of people, so at the same time, I don't see how that would affect the chances of the queue. The only thing, the problem I did have with the queue was that you weren't necessarily told how long of a wait until you were going through, or what's your position or stuff like that. The same way that Ticketmaster will show you where you are in the queue. But again, that was their choice. I'm not IT. I'm not in charge of the group or anything like that. So that's just my little rant about that. We're we're all allowed to have our own thoughts and opinions on the situation. Again, I had my thoughts and feelings, which are sadness, but you know, we dwell just the same way as I dwell with the Bears losing last weekend. I'm not a Bears fan, but I was cheering for the Bears. But again, we're all allowed to have our feelings and feel a certain type of way, but let's not get too crazy. Again, do I wish I could go? Of course, everybody does, but it just wasn't in the cards for me, and I had my feelings yesterday, got through it. I was a little sad at the moment, specifically straight in that moment, but you know, life moves on. We carry on the same way as we carry on from a team's not making past the playoffs. So everyone has a right to be in their feelings, because we all do. But on the bright side, I will look at it this way. I'm going to keep working harder because, again, it did motivate me to do that. And we have the Benito Bowl coming. So that's one thing to cheer me up in the sadness. So I guess we could look at it this way. The chances of winning that Ulta Beauty World ticket, yes, it was like kind of winning the Powerball and Mega Millions, which, you know, that's not much of a chance. But it is what it is. Again, let this moment motivate you to keep going higher, you know? I guess there are some lessons from yesterday for everyone involved, all of us trying to get tickets, Ulta, and trying to figure out how they manage it for next year, because the demand was there. I will be watching to see where next year's location is, hoping and praying I could probably make it next year. But yeah, maybe just a quick few little thoughts about this too before I decide to finish this off and end my rant. Here are a few final thoughts from my end as I continue this little conversation and slash rant. I think based off what we saw and the demand, I think Ulta has to reconsider if this expo is more than one day. Again, I'm not Ulta, but this is just my thoughts. Maybe the reconsideration of expanding the expo to more than one day and having the opportunity for people to be able to experience it more than one day. I think the masterclass was kind of like answering that demand this year. But it's not the same thing as attending the expo, but it does give you the opportunity to, you know, learn more with the specific brands and the professionals involved. But I think it showed the demand for this expo was there. So what do they do to solve that? I don't know. So what do they do to solve that issue? I don't know, but I know people are still having their feelings, and we'll see what happens for next year's expo after this sale yesterday. That's just a little bit of my thoughts and opinions, and I'm just going to finish this all off because I gotta go to work, and I'll go cry there. That's just my little thoughts and observations and my opinions after this Ulta Beauty sale, and my thoughts on the whole situation in general. I'm just gonna be optimistic and keep it moving, because hopefully one day I'll be able to experience that expo. I'm glad I did these off camera because I was struggling for dear life, especially with this one. And this one's being a little stubborn. But yeah. Back to this conversation. But yeah, that's just my little thoughts and opinions on the whole sale and the process of everything yesterday, and just my feelings afterwards. It's just what I think. Not like it's gonna do anything or change anybody's opinions or thoughts about it, but it's just like my own thoughts and feelings about the whole situation as I get ready to go to work. But it's just how I feel. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of my rant. And I'm just going to go ahead and move on and fix my hair because it needs a miracle. But yeah, consider that the end of my rant talk about this whole conversation. And as I finish getting ready to go to work, so that's all I gotta say about the topic right now. Again, I'm still a little sad, but I can't do much about it now. But this is the whole final look for today, and I'll be posting about my lip combo real soon. So that's all I got. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and I'll be seeing you beauties real soon.